are usually the train ferries. They come. They look different. If you see, they look a bit different from the other type of rural vessels. These ramps will come down, and they have train railings on them. They would align it to the shore railway tracks, and then the trains will drive in and out. Typical car carrier, they also do the same thing. Then with the chemical and oil tankers, they use the pipelines, as I said. So here they will come, the loading manifold is around here. So when they come alongside, then they will join the ship's lines to the shore lines using the loading manifolds, and then get the cargo flowing through them onto the ship or off the ship. Then for the very heavy lift cargoes, as I explained to you the last time, here it is in this deballasted condition. They are now coming to lift this heavy oil platform. So what they will do is they will fill the ballast tanks, which move from all the way here to the bottom and there. So they will sink the ship and bring it to this level here. The cargo would now be pulled onto the platform, and then they will deballast, pump out the water, and the ship will come up to this stage again with the cargo sitting on top, and then they move away. So that is what is done for these types of ships. And then for our passenger and hovercrafts, they only need some small ramp, some small stairway to get into the ship, as you saw with the passenger ship you were looking at yesterday. That is how cargo is moved. The human beings become cargo when we are looking at passenger ships. Passenger ships, their cargoes are human beings. Okay. So they also move in and out by themselves. Their baggages are loaded separately, but they themselves will move in and out, walking onto the ship, just like the ship's crew do. You have to climb the gangway or accommodation ladder into the ship. So that is for the sea ports. Any questions? We are going to look at shipping services. We are going to look at the different types of ocean transport. That is liner shipment as against tramp shipments. In liner shipment, we'll be looking at the conventional or container services, conferences, and consortia. And then with the charter shipping, we'll be looking at time charter, voyage charter, trip charter, and the others. And then rural also services for vehicles and trucks. The services here, the structure of shipping is such that we said we have different categories of ships, different types of ships for the different cargoes. But that is not all. We also have different setups to manage these types of ships. For example, if you look at the general cargo ships and the container ships, their office setup is different from the tramp ships, those that carry the heavy bulk cargoes like the dry bulk, the grains, the oils and oils. Their setup is also different, and the way they are moved about, the structure is different, and that is what we're going to learn. So at the end of it, you should be aware of the two types of ocean traffic in practice. That is liner shipping and then charter shipping. And you should understand the differences between them. You should understand the types of operations and operators involved in liner shipping, as well as the different types of charters in charter shipping, and some of the basic terms used in charter shipping, and the essential conditions for a charter contract. They are all different. For example, if you are dealing with a general cargo, you need people like you, freight forwarders, to canvass for the cargoes, bring them together, and then form a consolidated shipment that you put into a container. Because in a container, in liner shipping in a container, the cargoes might belong to different consignees. But in charter shipping, most of the time, all the cargoes belongs to one person. From the whole containment on the ship belongs to one person. Sometimes there are part cargoes where you have 2 or 3 other consignees, but most of the time it's from only one person going to a particular place. In liner shipping, liner ships offer these types of services at these rates. That is, they have scheduled itinerary. A liner ship will be like a taxi going from community 1 to community 4, 5, and so on. Okay, that is liner shipping. They move between fixed points. They have a fixed itinerary. Usually the structure is when they belong to a conference, they even have times of sailing. If you go to the advanced countries, you see that they are what we have as trotros here, they don't have that. But they have bar services like the OSA and STC. They move according to time. Okay. So when you go on the post for a bus stop, you can go there and know that if I want to catch a bus so that I can come for my lectures, I can get a bus from Community 4 at this time, and it's supposed to get me here in the next 10, 15, 20, or 30 minutes. Okay. That is a liner service. It moves at fixed time in between fixed points. Okay. They tend to offer faster and more quality, higher quality service, and therefore they also come at a higher price. Okay. And their clients are shippers of high value cargoes because they are usually, the liner shipping deals with refined products. They are not like the tramp shipping. Tramp shipping, they will take the iron ore from the earth and they put the whole iron ore in the ship. If they take manganese, they put it raw into the ship. That is what the tramp shipping do, the bulk shipping vessels. Okay, they do that type of movement. But with the liner services, they are dealing with machines that have been processed, clothing that have been made, and so on. So they tend to offer or get clients with high value cargoes, and therefore they also come at a higher price when you are transporting them. Because the clients are prepared to pay extra for the speed and predictability of delivery. Then you have the tramp ships, as I said, they carry the raw materials. The operational and management setups are different. If you go to a tramp shipping office, for example, it's a very simple office. I mean, with just maybe 1 or 2 people in the office and a machine, a computer or something. And when you go to a liner ship, a whole building will contain the offices and of the various departments that manage the various lines. So they are very different systems for operating these services. The features of liner shipping, they generally carry general cargoes, that is cargoes of all descriptions and types, whether they are for conventional cargo ships or containers or ro-ros, they all belong to the general cargo ship setup. They have fixed schedules, as I said, they move, if it is they move every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes. When you go to some of these countries, they have the itinerary on the board. You can go and check, so you know that this ship will leave at this time. It's just like the aeroplanes. When they come here, they have fixed time for moving and fixed time for coming in. That is the way liners operate. They have fixed schedules and itineraries for the shipment of the cargoes, and also fixed routes generally, and also fixed tariffs. So the tariffs, they do change, but they are almost fixed for a period of time. Usually for 6 months, they wouldn't change. So within that 6 months, even when prices vary, because if you vary the prices often, the shippers are not going to be happy with you. So they will always come at a certain price range for a certain time before they will change. Even if they want to change, they have to inform the administration of the countries and then negotiate and come to an amicable price that would not be overly high, that would affect shipments, because whatever affects the freights is definitely going to be passed on to consignees. It's just like the fixing of the petrol prices here and also the transport fares. They always have to negotiate with the government, and the government will also negotiate with the petroleum products dealers so that they don't overly increase their prices, which would eventually trickle down to the consumers. Okay. So they have fixed tariffs, and many administrations will require 5 to 6 months notice before you can change it. You just don't get up and change it. You always have to negotiate the time. The operating